you know, I like John Ryder. He's a fellow Brit wanting to win, but
he's number one in the WBO.
I don't know whether this is at the wrong time for John Ryder, though.
Well, it's like you said, Ryder's has got nothing to lose, really.
Munguía, super talented.
If it's just on skill, he's going to win.
This is a good test for Munguía, a really good test.
Because that's one of the things that makes a real champion, isn't it? So
I think Munguía stops him in the 11th.
hello, welcome back to BoxCast. Today we're going to preview the upcoming fight between Jaime Munguía and John Ryder. That's going to occur on the 27th of January at the Footprint Center in Phoenix in the US. Simon, your thoughts? You looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I think it's a great fight, this.
Mm-hmm. Little bit of intro of the fighters. Jaime Munguía is a US fighter, Mexican heritage. He's 42 for no losses, 33 by knockout. So I think, what's that, about 77%?
78%.
78% knockout. John Ryder's an English fighter, British fighter. He's 32 fights, 6 losses. Although those are against pretty good opponents.
Most of them are against
some early ones.
Yeah, but most of them are against world-class opposition like Callum Smith, Canelo.
Jaime Munguía is 27, John Ryder's 35. Jaime Munguía is 6 foot tall, or 183, maybe by 6'1", so he's quite tall. John Ryder's 175, 5'9". Reach is the same for both of them, though, 72 and 72. Munguía is orthodox and Ryder is southpaw. How many KOs? Yeah, John Ryder's, you're right, 79% for Munguía, knockout percentage, 56 for
John Ryder.
So both fairly experienced fighters. One, the up-and-coming sort of younger guy, although he's got 42 fights, which makes him look a lot more.
Them Mexicans are like that, aren't they?
Well, I think Munguía is a little bit different. He's had a bit of amateur, but then because he was too young, I think for the 2012, if I'm not wrong, Olympics, he's decided to go pro, which is what normally most of the Mexicans go straight to the pro.
Started at like welterweight, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's moved up through the ranks.
I think the other relevant fact, he's been a WBO welterweight, super welterweight. I think
he's had a couple of intercontinentals and silver belts as well.
And this fight's middleweight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okie doke, yeah, go on. Oh no, super middleweight.
Sorry. Yeah, super middleweight.
Yeah.
I like Munguía.
Mm-hmm.
Super talented.
Yeah.
Really fast hands.
Mm-hmm.
Really fast hands. Watch his last couple of fights. His last fight against Davydenko. Thought he was quite. Yeah, I thought he was quite lucky actually. I think if he didn't have got the knockdown in the 12th.
Well, I think a man was asking his opponent. Davydenko was asking for a rematch. He's pretty adamant he wants one.
Yeah, I think if it hadn't been for that knockdown in the 12th, it'd have been a different result.
I think that's just swung it in his favour, wasn't it? And it was quite close on the cards.
It was a really great. It was a really, really good fight. Really good fight. I think both guys were hurt numerous times during the fight. I think from the first round, it was an all-out war. If I remember rightly, they were just going hell for leather. And you know, Munguía had a big height advantage, but Davydenko just wouldn't let him breathe. Just kept on him constantly. It was a great fight.
Well, he's typical Ukrainian style. That style of like Lomachenko, Usyk, etc., with its relentless pressure.
I don't know whether this is at the wrong time for John Ryder, though. Coming to the end of his career. Although, when he steps up to world level, Ryder, he does always produce his best performances. I know against Canelo.
Well, I think that's one of his best.
Although Canelo won it. It was a good fight. It was a competitive fight.
I think Canelo won. I think our only sort of thing was the scorecards were really, really wide. And probably, they weren't close, but they should have been a bit closer than that. There were some rounds Ryder should have had.
Yeah, and I think the rounds, Canelo won them, but they were close, you know. And I'll still never forget John Ryder just standing in the middle of the ring, waving Canelo in and saying, right, let's have it.
Well, it's nice to see when he knew, right, I'm behind now. I've got to do
let's
something
just go for
instead
it.
of just running for the rest of the fight.
So we know Ryder, he's got heart.
Well, he's only been knocked down once, isn't it? And I think that was early on.
Yeah,
when he was just...
When Canelo had him on the canvas, but he just got back up. And
knocked out, I meant to say. He's only been knocked out once, isn't he?
Canelo knocked him down, and that's when he just got up and went, right, let's have it. I just think Munguia's skill level.
I think his height is boxing.
Yeah, and his freshness is just going to be a bit too much for John Ryder.
And he has struggled against like the taller thingy because Callum Smith had him.
Yeah, again, that was a really close fight though. Some people had John Ryder winning that.
Well, I think he had the same, didn't he? He got knocked down in that one in one of the rounds, 5th or 6th round or something. And I think it's just that little bit when he gets caught, it swings it in the other guy's favour.
I get the feeling this is a test for Munguía, whether he's ready for.
I was thinking the same. It's like it's a test to see are you proper world level.
Because I wouldn't say
in super
John Ryder's not world level, but he's a good level. He's just below that world level.
Well, he's only really, of his later fights, he's only really been beaten by proper world level fighters.
I think that the last fight with Munguía against Davidchenko, questions were asked about him. And like I say, if it wasn't for that, I think it was the 12th round, he put him down. I think if it wasn't for that, Munguía would have a loss on his record now. So I think this is a good test for Munguía, a really good test. John Ryder's got nothing to lose, though.
Well, that's why he's dangerous. The same as against Canelo, and you've seen when he goes for it.
Nothing to lose. And if
I think it's a very good test for Munguía. To see if he's ready.
It's a test for Munguía, but also John Ryder wins.
For Ryder.
The likelihood is he'll get a world title shot straight after it. Yeah, so will Munguía, to be fair. But
well, I think the matchmaking is, like you said, it's a test for Munguía to see are you ready for a world title shot. But it equally applies to Ryder because Ryder's got nothing to lose.
I don't think it'll go the distance, but I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a really, really good fight. I'm really excited for it. A really good fight. Munguía loves to throw punches, so does Ryder. I think.
Well, it's not one way, isn't it? You can see either of them winning, which that's what makes a good fight. I mean, the favourite is Munguía.
Yeah, I've got Munguía. I'd say. In a 70-30 split.
Yeah, I probably agree.
You know, I like John Ryder. He's a fellow Brit, want him to win. But I think it'll be a little bit of a chess match for 2 rounds, and then it'll be...
Start to open up.
Yeah. Might be wrong, but I think
Ryder normally does open up. Yeah. So it normally opens up the fights. He did it, like you said, he traded. I mean, they'd
learned a lot from Munguia's last fight, because he was, like you say, I had him behind on the scorecard. He was getting caught with a lot of shots.
I think he has had a few close-ish fights, but I think he always seems to pull through.
Yeah, has Ryder got the power to make Munguía think twice about coming in? I'm not too sure. That'd be my only worry. Although I think he made Canelo think twice a couple of times about coming in.
well, yeah. Like I said, he was brave. He started trading, which maybe was the only way that kept him. Kept him there. So, yeah, I think here the skill level is on Munguia's side. Yeah. So it's whether he can cope with that. I think, I agree. I think it'll be a little bit of feeling each other out for a couple of rounds to maybe 3. And then Ryder, he has a tendency to open up and get caught. So
Ryder,
it's just a balance. But then he has got a lot of heart.
Ryder, I think Ryder will be the stronger in the ring because he's the naturally bigger man.
Yeah.
All right, not height wise, but I think he's going to be the naturally stronger man. I think if he can target Munguia's body,
well, that's what you got to do. Slow him down, isn't it?
I think Munguía is quite susceptible to a body shot.
Everybody is. Who said that before?
I know,
all
but
of these fast movers
I think
nobody likes the old liver shots.
And Munguía is good at throwing body shots, but he forgets about them and goes headhunting straight away.
Well, I think a lot of them who are that fast with their hands because they're hitting the target. They do it. They don't even it out.
I just worry about John Ryder's age, because that Father Time can just catch up with you in a blink of an eye.
Well, it's also he's had a lot of miles, even though there's a fair few fights, but that fight against Canelo was brutal. Yeah. As much as we enjoyed watching it and stuff, it's brutal on your body.
But I'm just wondering whether John Ryder's gone. Do you know what? I think John Ryder really enjoyed that fight.
Yeah.
And I think that might have given him a new lease of life and gone, right, it's now or never to get me another world title shot, because he's had two now. He's had Callum Smith and Canelo.
It's not the easiest ones though.
No.
And Callum Smith, he was quite close.
It was. He's good at getting inside fighters. So I think he will cause Munguía a few problems.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the point of the matchup, isn't it? It's like you said,
it's a really good matchup.
Is he really truly world level, Munguía?
On paper, you're going to go, Munguía should.
Yeah, Munguía should win.
Yeah, but I think anyone who's seen John Ryder fighting will know that
he's a tricky customer.
Yeah,
he's not going to give up. Like you said, I don't think he's been knocked out clean. He's been knocked down, but he gets up and carries on like a Canelo.
Yeah,
like he did against Canelo. So
I think it's a really good piece of matchmaking. It's a great fight. I think
he's only been stopped once. And that's I think in one of the early when he was still wet behind the ears.
Munguía has been quite an underrated fighter. Don't know whether he's been avoided. To have that many fights and only have a couple of world title shots.
Well, I think he did. He was champion, wasn't he? At what is it? Whatever weight. I think he was the super lightweight, super welterweight. But then he's he stepped up in weights, hasn't he? Now, because obviously he must have grown, because I think he's only started at like age 16 or something. That's how he's got that many fights.
It's a bit like he won the WBO light middleweight title against Sadim Ali. He retained that a few times, then moved up to middleweight. He's won the Intercontinental middleweight title.
So I think he's like the next on the list of
his fight against Derevyanchenko was for the WBC silver super middleweight title. Jaime Munguía.
Because obviously only in this division you've got Canelo, undisputed champion, and then you've got Benavidez coming up. There's Caleb Plant, and Munguía is in that list. There's a few other unbeaten ones as well.
Munguía hasn't got the. All right, he beat Gabriel Rosado, but Gary O'Sullivan.
He's actually lower down the ring list. The ring list is Ryder is number 5 and Munguía is number 9.
Beat Liam Smith on a points decision.
He's number 1 in the WBO super middleweight rankings.
It's
Ryder is number 8. So he's a good matchup in it.
Yeah, but it's resume.
We don't take these that much, but it's interesting to see
resume,
what people rate him.
You're saying 42 fights, but let's not forget the first.
Yeah, first he's just learning the craft, isn't it? He's only really got
20 odd fights.
The 10
we're in Mexico. Yeah. So you don't know who them opponents were. Yes, they're going to be tough fights because they're Mexicans, but they're not.
He's not on the IBF list.
No, they're not.
Ryder is at number.
His resume isn't 11. Superb. He's got a lot of fights.
It's only in the last 10 or so when he's done he's won the world titles. Then he's got a few. This is a step of fight, isn't it? It's a test to see are you actually, there. So what have we got on there? WBC, he's number 2 behind, obviously, the usual people. And then Ryder is number 8. So there's a few.
Although, like you say, them rankings are a bit crazy.
Yeah, they're just who they favoured to make them.
Nagano's in the top 15, for God's sake. He's only had one boxing match in his whole life, which he lost, and he's automatically in the top 15. What the hell? So I wouldn't say too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting to see what they think. WBA is not in the list either.
How do you think the fight will plan out?
I'm not sure it's going to be a stoppage because it's Ryder. I think it'll be, as you said, start with feeling out for the first couple of rounds, and then I think Munguía will start taking over a bit, and then it's how Ryder reacts to that. I think Ryder will react like he did in the Canelo. He will bring it back, and then it's really a test of Munguía. Are you really ready to be are you really world level? Or are you going to wilt when he starts? Because I think Ryder will put on pressure and stay in the fight, and then it's really then it's whether it goes like the Canelo and Ryder fight, or whether Munguía can outbox him and just keep him at the
I mean, if you look at Ryder's losses, it's the Billy Joe Saunders on points.
Yeah, which is Billy Joe
Nick
Saunders, excellent boxer.
Blackwell TKO.
Don't know who that is.
No, Jack Armfield.
That's his only stoppage, I think. Blackwell, isn't it?
Yeah, Rocky Fielding. But then look at Callum Smith. He beats.
His start isn't great. He seems to have got better afterwards, and then it's really Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, and Canelo, isn't it? In the later,
he beat Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, which is a tough fight.
Tough fight. He's had good wins against Zach Parker again. That was a tough.
Because some of the losses are near the beginning of his, innit? He's lost a few at the beginning when either he's not learned his craft properly or he's still, picking it up. And then he's only really lost against, proper fighters. Yeah.
I think Munguia's speed might trouble him, and his punch output might trouble him. They're going to have to come. I think, but then John Ryder's a southpaw, isn't he?
Yeah, that's why he's tricky. He's durable. He's tricky. He doesn't give up. And now in later fights, he seems to have that.
I think he'll. Obviously, he's got to try and get on the inside, rough him up a little bit, try and turn it into a toe-to-toe war. Munguía, I think, will oblige to that, though. I think Munguía likes a toe-to-toe.
As well, isn't it? So
Munguía will like a toe-to-toe.
Although he's American.
So like I say, this might. I think this could be one of the fights of the year.
Yeah.
And we're only in January.
Yeah.
I think it could be. It can either be an absolute blowout in a couple of rounds, or it could be an absolute war. I think there'll be there'll be knockdowns from both. I've just got to.
It's a proper test, isn't it? I think we expect Munguía to get through, but I think it's a proper test.
Yeah.
If he knocks him out, if he knocks Ryder out, or whatever time, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously early it'll probably be a lucky catch, but if it's like 7th, 8th, 9th in the second half of the fight when he's built into it and Ryder's fought back like he did against Canelo, does that firmly put him in the thing, say, yeah, I'm here? Because he'll have outdone what Canelo did. And Canelo's obviously the big name in that division.
Yeah, it does. And then
he's in the picture, isn't he, then for...
Yeah, he's in the picture, definitely.
Well, he's already in the picture. I think then that probably gives him I'm here now. You need to...
I think...
Make the titles.
I think... He's got a lot of, he's still a young man. He's got a lot of options after this.
Yeah. I don't think he needs to rush. He's still...
No, he needs to stay away from Canelo, though.
Canelo and Benavidez, he probably needs to stay away from.
Yeah.
Let them have their thing. And then see what happens and then go.
Like I say, this is good matchmaking, though, so...
It's a tough test.
Really tough test.
Yeah.
Really tough test. And like I say, I think he's still got a few vulnerabilities, Munguía.
Well, he's still young. He's still got a few to patch up, I think.
And an experienced guy like John Ryder might be able to expose them, set little traps. Well,
that's why I think it's a good fight, because it's how does he respond to it? You know, we've seen other great fighters, like in a way when he's had his orbital bone broken, other people have been knocked down and then they get up from it and carry on. You know, even the really, really great fighters. So it's like, how does he deal with adversity? Because that's one of the things that makes a real champion, isn't it? So it's a good test.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Really, really looking forward to it. Like I say, if Ryder wins,
then it puts him firmly in that.
Wow.
Because his two performances, one against Canelo, and that would put him back in there. The problem is then you've got Canelo at that weight, the same, and Benavidez, who both probably steps too far.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could have a fight against...
You know, we could have another big...
Well, not Canelo, but Benavidez or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Who else did I have on the names? But there's a few up-and-coming ones, isn't it? Planted probably be a good fight, reasonable fight for both of them. I don't know if they've fought him.
Yeah, Caleb Plant.
But it's a good test of world-level credentials.
Yeah.
And then I think it's the up-and-coming ones who, you know, we'll find out where they go.
I think for Ryder and Munguía, it's titles after this. If they win, it's title shots. I think that's all they'll want. So
yeah, I think they've all. But then that's Canelo.
I mean, I don't think Ryder's going to get Canelo again.
Nope.
Not a chance.
That's what I think. I think it'll be the likes of a Plant or even Benavidez really wants. Because the only thing you can really see is if Benavidez fights Canelo, beats him, and then he'll move up. And then the belts are available.
Although you don't know what Canelo's doing this year, do we?
No. Well, who's Canelo got left, really? So that's the thing. So Munguía makes sense, but then there's Benavidez, there's Munguía, and then there's all the up-and-coming ones. Yeah. So
I mean, I think if Munguía wins, an all-Mexican clash, because doesn't Canelo usually fight around Mexican Independence Day?
Would be a huge fight.
Oh, God, yeah. That'd be massive. That's 100,000-seater stadium filler, that one.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why they're saying Benavidez versus him is the one that they're looking at for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although Benavidez seems to be pushing more than Canelo's not as interested. And then there's probably the other challengers around there, the other fighters there who are in the list, but I don't... Yeah. The more up-and-comers rather than...
Yeah. No, like, it's... Jaime Munguía, he's like I say, he's in that position where he could go superstardom in the next couple of years. He really, really could with the right fights. He could be the next Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah. Well, there's not much left for Canelo to do.
No, not much left for Canelo to do.
So if he moves out the picture, then that opens up that division, and then there's all of them that are there. So, because really Canelo's fight, the one everybody wants to see, well, you want to see is Benavidez, isn't it? And him are the two main people in that list of challengers. And then everybody else is behind that, even Munguía winning this or Ryder, whoever is behind. I think if Munguía puts on a real performance, that stamps, you know, if you can get rid of Ryder quick and get rid of him.
He's got to do it in style, though.
Yeah.
He's got
then
to
that
do
puts
it in
him on,
style.
because then he's got a reason to have a ding-dong with Canelo.
All out a rematch against
Derevyanchenko.
Yeah.
We're probably mispronouncing his name. But
a rematch against him. Although he's got to be, 38 now.
He's older than 37, 38.
But he's got a few options, so...
Well, it's pushing for the world title fights, isn't it? That's really where he's got to get to with that number of fights and list. Because I look at all the other ones on this list, and then everybody else is less fights. There's a few unbeaten and up and coming, but like, there's no real big name that shoots out at you. And then it's only depending on if Benavidez and Canelo happens. That's the big fight in this division.
Yeah.
Then you beat one of the other contenders, the other ones that would be contenders for that era, just to keep busy. Contenders for not that era, the contenders for that division. and then go, because the problem is you're in these divisions where there's like
super
people
champions
blocking out, so you can't go up in weight anymore really, because you're a light heavy, isn't it?
No, like, and it like because of that. But this is why this a Munguía John Ryder fight's a great fight.
Yeah. Of that list, I think it's probably the best challenge, because it's the guy you should beat, but it's going to be an extremely tough.
I think it's going to be really,
really
exciting fight. Like I say, I think it's going to be a bit of a war. Yeah. I think boxing skills might go out the window.
Yeah, it's a heart. That's what we need to see him on. It's a heart tester.
Yeah, I think
he's got the skills. I think that hands down. If it's just on skill, he's going to win. But it's if Ryder fights like he did against Canelo after he got knocked down and stuff, then it's a test of heart. Have you got the fight?
Yeah, it's whether Ryder's still got it. That's what I think the test for Ryder is.
That's what we'll find out.
But I think, like I say, boxing skills at times will go completely out the window, and it'll just be a complete punch up. Munguía.
We know Ryder likes that, and we'll find out how
Munguía
good Munguía deals with that.
Munguía could make it quite an easy fight, because he's, like I say, he's got the hand speed, he's got great combination punches and good footwork.
It'll be interesting to see the game plans.
Yeah, sometimes a little bit off balance, and I know he holds this right hand low when he throws the jab. So
go over the top.
Ryder can time his left.
Yeah, he's southpaw as well. You don't want to be doing that against.
And can get
Ryder can punch as well.
Yeah, Ryder can punch. Yeah. He's got enough to. He's got enough about him to be. And like I say, I was watching Munguía, and every time he does throw that left, this right does come down. So he's going to be susceptible to a counter left hook.
Ryder's tricky for everybody in that. What we've seen against Canelo, he's tricky for it. He's not an easy fight where he's going to roll over. Yeah, you would expect to win, and you would expect him to win, but it's not going to be 12 round washout, but you've just cleaned them out. It's going to be close, even if like Canelo did get those rounds. I think that's a little bit of the Canelo effect. It was a closer fight in reality. I think here the same, but I think it's really, like you said, has what's Ryder got left in the tank to make how good the fight's going to be is what's Ryder got in the tank. And then if he really gives it and he comes full 110%, then it's how much fight has Munguía got to, is he really a world? And you will, I think, at the end know.
Can he go all the way?
Real deal. Yeah. He should be, he belongs in there, that world title thing, position.
Yeah.
I think it's, all right, are we going to make predictions then?
It's a tough one to make a prediction on this.
Yeah.
A really tough one. You could go.
You could see it going either way.
Yeah, then you go 5 or 6
what
ways.
Ryder turns up and how Munguía copes with that.
I'm not gonna. I'll go on. I'll be a.
Shall I do the outrageous one first? Then? Well, not outrageous one. I'm gonna go Munguía round 7 knockout.
Okay. Well, I won't do it on a fan basis.
Although I don't think that's gonna happen. That's gonna make.
I'll go on a boxing.
Yeah. Well, I'm basing it on boxing,
I'll base it on boxing.
And then accelerating the round.
I think Munguía stops him in the 11th.
Yeah, that's more what I think. But I'm just going to go for the 7th, just depending on what's been taken out of Ryder.
I'm sorry, John, but I just think, Munguía will.
Well, we'd like you to win, but it's not on what we like on a boxing basis. We think Munguía will win.
Yeah.
From the heart, we'd like Ryder to win, but obviously being British. But
it's a hard one to predict, this one.
Yeah, I don't think our predictions are going to be correct. But I mean, other than Munguía probably wins, it's probably going to be 12 rounds, and he's probably going to go. It's going to be a tough war and 12 rounds, or like you said, about 11th.
Yeah, I'm going to go 11 rounds.
I think it's going to be there just on a ward of attrition. I think.
Yeah. And I think it'll be.
And Munguia's younger.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I think it might be. I don't think it'll be a knockout. I think it'll be.
No, stoppage.
Yeah, or the corner might
damage or
pull Ryder out
and whatever else. Yeah. That's what I think. You might get knocked down a couple of 2-3 times, or damage. That's what I think.
We'll see.
I don't think it's clean. I mean, if he does a clean knockout, that definitely pushes Munguía up in there. Then he's going to have one of the he's right
it
up
really
there
does.
with Benavidez and Canelo. He'll probably push him to the top of that list of all the other people in upcoming.
Yeah.
Intriguing fight.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Questions will be answered on both fighters.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, Ryder's has got nothing to lose, really.
He hasn't really.
He's not going to lose reputation
I think he's
if he
getting
loses, but if he wins, it just definitely
I mean, I hate saying it, but I think he's getting a good payday for this. And it is...
He's a good boxer.
He's a good boxer.
Him.
It is his last hurrah.
Yeah. If he loses, I think he can probably do one or two of the fights, but he's not going to be at that world level. There's too many people in that weight ahead. You've had the biggest chance, and you put up a hell of a performance, but you're short.
I mean, if Ryder wins as well, he could get a rematch and get even more money. So
yeah.
He is in a... wouldn't say he's in a win-win situation, because I don't think he's not there just to make up the numbers.
It's a fight for him as well.
Yeah.
But he's not, well, the thing you could do is like a journeyman, but he's not a journeyman. He's
not.
He's not there to make up the numbers. He's there to give, it's a proper test.
Yeah.
Are you really worthy of being a world, title contention, or are you just another one of these hype jobs? And I think that's what we're going to find out about Munguía. But you can see Ryder winning. It's not like,
No, you can. Yeah, I can. Like I say, I had it 70-30.
I'd agree about 70-30.
In Munguia's favour. But
based on age, based on his skill.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And wear and tear on Ryder. And is it? And Ryder's
But Ryder always produces better when he's got the better opponent in front of him.
He's got nothing to lose. And then I think he raises his game. I think that's why he suffered in the beginning. He must have like a thing where he can't raise his game when it's not.
Yeah, but when he's come up against... All right, he's lost. But he's put a hell of a performance. Yeah, it's been close.
Against Callum Smith, against... who's the first guy on points?
Rocky Field and Blackwell.
But no, you're the other guy, Puncher. That was a decision.
Rocky Field and Blackwell.
You got people before that on...
Callum Smith.
Yeah, Callum Smith and...
Jack Armfield and Nick Blackwell. And Billy Joe Saunders. I mean,
Billy Joe Saunders is a boxer.
Tricky little bugger, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a boxing thing, isn't it? But they were all close. They weren't one-sided. Yeah, like we said, Canelo's scorecard was one-sided. But I think if you're being realistic, it was a comprehensive victory, but it was a lot closer than the scorecards look.
I mean, if you can go back to, another Danny Jacobs performance, things like that, it's going to be a tough night for Munguía.
I think he needs it. If you're going to step up against the beasts in that division, you need, and all the other people in there, you need that test. You need to prove you are the best. You're the best of the rest or whatever. So, and I think that's really what this contest is. Good matchmaking, as you said.
Yeah, really, really good matchmaking.
And we're looking forward to it. So it's on the 27th of January, I think I said, the venue, didn't I?
Yeah.
In Phoenix or somewhere.
I think is it on DAZN?
I think so. DAZN worldwide.
Yeah.
It's one of those early morning ones, so I'll probably watch it in the morning, but yeah, it's Footprint Centre in Phoenix.
Yeah.
On the 27th of January. For UK viewers, it's going to be around about the 4 o'clock time. Usually these US fights are.
I haven't seen the undercard yet, but usually for something like that, there'll be a pretty good undercard.
Mm-hmm.
Which can be worth a watch. So I'm just quickly going to have a look now.
Mm-hmm. So while Simon's looking up, we'll have give us your feedback, give us your comments, what you think. Do you think Munguía will continue keep his unbeaten record? Do you think Ryder can pull off an upset? What do you think is going to happen in the fight? And then possible next steps depending on the result. What you think, and what you think of our assessment. That'd be cool. Like and subscribe, or dislike and don't subscribe. Just watch, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you.
Isn't Eddie Hare not promoting this?
Ryder there, you would have thought so, isn't he? And isn't he one of his? Anyway, we can do that.
Yeah. Not that it matters. Doesn't seem to be anything on the about the undercard.
Your predictions, 85.7% is one of the things. Who think Munguía is going to win? 57% think KO for Munguía. Nearly 29% a decision for Munguía, and then there's 14% John Ryder decision.
Right.
Paul?
14%.
Yeah, John Ryder. 14.3% John Ryder decision. 85.7 chance for Munguía, of which 57% is KO and 29% approximately is.
Right, okay.
I think. There's Colazzo and Gutierrez, but that's a light. That's where's it gone? Oh, no, that's on the same day. That's not on the. That's in Europe.
Yeah,
London.
Like I said, I don't think the undercard's been announced just yet.
Yeah, it's a little bit off, isn't it?
Okay,
it's okay. We can look at that later.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Cool. And if there's any good fights on that, we'll come back and
we'll add them on too.
Add them on.
Okay, thank you very much for listening, watching, and yeah, leave your comments, likes, subscribe, do all the usual goodness.
Yeah.
Let your friends know.
Let us know what you think, who's going to win.
And after the fight, we'll do a review and see how we got on in our predictions and what people have said.
Yeah.
Cool. See you in the next one.
Thank you very much.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.